Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the next kind of bigger installment, maybe, depending on how long this goes. It might be kind of a big one. Silent Hill's Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories Let's Play. We just got through with all the civil asset forfeiture impound lot vehicles, returning them. So now that we are done with that, we are going to the last, I believe this is going to be the last part of the side missions, in a sense side missions, before we finally get to start back up with the main missions. Technically, it's under one big type of side mission, but there's going to be multiple links because there's different types of side missions under the main side mission. If that even makes sense. If not, oh well. I'll kind of show you what I mean soon enough. Soon enough. So, what I am talking about now are the empires. Now, the empires, like if you followed my guide word for word, you should have no problems doing what I'm about to tell you. Even if you haven't been following it word for word and you kind of made a few changes here and there, you'll still be able to. You'll just have to make small adjustments, which is no problem. You'll still be able to do it. So let's start off by, of course, here at the Lone Shark Empire, and like I said, go ahead and save there if you haven't already. Now, the Empire sites, all of these, open up after you beat to victor the spoils. All of these. There's a total of 30 Empire sites on the map. Alright, now of course you've noticed that they are different colors and stuff, but for right now, we're really just going to be working on our 3 sites, which should be the small-time Lone Shark, the High Roller Protection Racket, and the small-time prostitution business. And then after that, we're going to be working on some other sites as well, but I'll get to that later on once we actually get to it. So for now, let's just focus on these 3. Yeah, I was actually going to do the Empire sites a lot later on in the game, but then I remembered that a certain mission cannot start until we own at least 5 sites. That being said, we're only going to be touching the shark sites, which are going to be the red buildings, which they kind of look a little pinkish, but I guess they're red. We are not going to be touching the bikers until another later mission down the road. So for right now, just stay at your Lone Shark. Just kind of follow exactly what I'm doing if you can. Well, if you can, but if you want to, I should say. One of the main things I want to really get in your head, that the number of Shark Empire sites at this time could be different in my game than what you have in your game. So our percents could also be off until a certain mission is completed later on. So please keep this in mind for a while. As always, I'll let you know when they should match up perfectly again. Because each site you take over will add, it's kind of a rough estimate, but it's about 2.5% per site. So it will be off just a little bit. Like whenever I was actually doing this on my GameFAQs guide, all this was normal. However, the Sharks owned 12 sites, and right now they own 11. This one was a shark site last time. But who knows, it might actually turn into a shark site after I complete these 3, because these 3 will take a little while to finish. And I'll show you what I mean soon enough. Now, each site icon is color-coded to represent the status of that site. So blue sites, like this one, and this one, are our own sites. Are our own businesses, whatever you want to call it. Now, green, you don't see any green here, but what the green means is that there was a war or something like that at one of the sites, and the people who used to own the site, they got killed out, I guess you could say. So that means that the site would be green because it's an unoccupied site. So if you do see a green site, immediately go and buy it for yourself. Make it a small time, prostitution racket. Because I think at the earlier point in the game, prostitution businesses make the most money. Really emphasizing small time. Once again, I'll tell you why later on. Yellow, we don't see yellow either. At the beginning of the game, right after we beat the 2 Victor Spoils mission, you most likely would have seen more yellow. Maybe down in this area would have been some yellow. Because that would be the Cholo businesses, or the Cholo gang sites. Of course, there's only a few of them at the beginning, and they've most likely been overrun by the bikers, as you can see here. Now the purple is, of course, all the bikers. As you can see, the bikers in my game own most businesses, and the reds, as I had said, are the sharks. Now there is a bug, kind of in the game. As you'll notice on the left side, it's mostly, well, don't pay attention to the protection, or don't pay attention to the smuggling and robbery and drug stuff. At the beginning of the game, before you open up the East Island, you'll only be able to access the businesses that you have now of the loan shark, protection racket, and the prostitution. After you open up the East side, then you'll be able to gain access to drugs. Well, I'm not seeing. Okay, robbery. And then, okay, and smuggling. Drugs, robbery, and smuggling. Those three will open up after the east side. Now, for those of you that know the certain way, the certain trick to get over to the east side early, which will be in the extras video after I beat the last mission of this game. It'll be part of the extras video. For those of you that know the way to get over, do not try and obtain the businesses just yet, because if you get a drugs, robbery, or smuggling business early in the game before they're actually unlocked, they will not be added to your list of businesses that you will be able to build, which means that you'll lose out on your goal of getting 100%. So you have to wait until after you open up the east side in order to obtain the drugs, robbery, and smuggling businesses. Because the only way to obtain them is you have to take over the site that already has them. So like this, when I take over this site, I'll be able to start building the robbery businesses, because as you can see on the business, it has robbery. The owner, of course, is the sharks, the scale is high roller, which means it'll be a little more difficult to take over, but as always, as I've been saying, I'll get to that a little later on. So, of course, you put the crosshair over each type of business to see exactly what type of business it is, the owner, the scale, and the business type itself. Now, of course, as you know, some icons appear to be crumbled, like this one, ours, or like this biker one. And you'll see to the right, this red bar, that means the health of the business. So, if that happens, that means that they were attacked or have been damaged. With ours, I think it's just more damage, because I think we had to kind of damage it at the beginning or during the mission to obtain this business. When this line becomes depleted, because you can kind of tell that up top it's a darker red, at the bottom it's a lighter red. When it becomes completely dark, that means that the gang has been completely wiped out, and the business is, well, pretty much up for sale, and it should become green. So immediately go by it if that happens. Now, when a gang is repairing their site, or when we are ourselves, it'll have a wrench icon over the site icon. As such, it could also mean a remodel as well. So they could either be repairing their site, or they could be making it, say, instead of a smuggling, they could be changing it into a protection racket. Who knows? At this point, you will be unable to take over that site and must wait until whatever is going on to be completed. Next, what I kind of want to touch down on is that the gangs and the 100% completion. Now, at the beginning of the game, as I said, there are 3 different gangs. At this point, there were only 2. The reason for this is that the gangs also attack each other. As I said, what was left for me were the bikers and sharks. Now, one thing you must know is that when you attack a gang, even if you do not take over the site, if you attack a gang site, that particular gang will start attacking you throughout the rest of the game until you take over every one of their businesses. Even after you take over the last one, you will still need to do the save and reload strategy, which is simply saving your game and then reloading it. Now, doing that will make the gang no longer appear on the map. In other words, if you continue to play the game after taking over the last business of that gang, they'll still be able to attack you until you reload the game. Alright, so keep that in mind.